Oh my god, I was muted the entire time. I am so sorry.
Oh my god, I was muted the entire time. I am so sorry. Oh my god.
Nice loop. Alright. I'm just gonna be, I guess, drawing and stuff. While this is my artwork, I'm trying to get a sort of look where the character looks behind like that, but I want a full body shot of it. So I'm trying to figure out how to exactly attempt that. And the head is way too big, I know that, but I would mainly say the reason why the head is too big is because it's the way the body is in proportion to the head. So if, like, I would say if the body was slightly bigger, it would definitely be more in proportion with that. But I'm not really focused on that right now. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how do I attempt of drawing, the full body, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a experience. Like, this is, I guess, the butt, right? I guess, No? I don't know. And then... Yeah, that's lovely. Isn't that lovely? No, that's not. That's not lovely. No, it looks ugly as fuck. Okay. And again, just trying to figure this out. I've never really kind of drawn at this sort of angle before. So, I'm just trying to figure this out now. Do I draw like this? No. That's messed up. I could go literally to a mirror right now and be like, oh, that's how you do it, but I'm too lazy for that. And it's late at night for me, so I'm tired. Or not tired, but I just don't want to do that. So, but this is kind of where I'm stuck at. Also, the arms. It's a wonderful squiggly hand. But I guess we'll focus on this later, if anyone even joins. I don't think anyone's going to join this late. Which is fine. It's late at night, but I don't care. Does that make sense? Or I don't care. I think it's cool that you guys can see what I'm drawing, too. I think that's super cool. So it's... And I like to draw, too, so it's really fun and soothing. A lot. And I should probably close Google Chrome, save a little bit more resources on my computer. And my files. I have a lot of shit open, don't I? Yep, that's just Teams. So, and again, I tried drawing it here too. Now, I'm trying to... I don't really want to show you guys my main anime characters right now because they're for something that I'm making on my own, but I don't really wish to show you guys or even tell you. So, it's for a private project. I'm just doodling. I should probably check out let's see whatever kind of files I have from the cloud to see if, let's see. Okay, so nothing really much to go off of. I like this one. That's a good one. Nothing really much. I used to be able to finish my drawings at one point, believe it or not. Ripley's Believe It or Not. So there's that kind of fun thing. Am I still in a VC on a Discord server? I am. What the frick? I guess if anyone joins, but I'm just gonna disconnect. It's not really comfortable for them. Because imagine how weird that is, just being at a VC and you see a random guy who's just there for like hours. That's kind of creepy. So I don't want to do that. Yeah, look at that big head. That's a show. Oh, I know, it's Big Mouth, not Big Head. That should be a sequel to Big Mouth, Big Head. Okay. I've never watched Big Mouth. I don't think it's really funny. I mean, I don't know, personally, but when I first saw it, I was like, that's just my reaction to it. Let's start fresh. Let's start fresh and figure out what to really draw. Well, it appears I don't know what to draw. I could try to draw an anime teen guy of sorts. Show you guys what I mean by my art style. So, my art style is a very interesting kind of art style. Like, I have a mix of both anime and cartoon. Like, sort of it's not even it doesn't even look like anime, because you'll see, let me bring up one of my earlier works, just to show you. So, and this was on my DeviantArt page. So, this is an earlier work I drew a long time ago. So, you can see that it's kind of, well, this is more anime than anything really. You can see it's a lot more anime. The mouth is slightly off. That's not really cool at all. Why did I draw it like that? So this is more of an anime look when I was obsessed with drawing anime, but I kind of, sometimes when I'm like not in the mood to draw anime, I often find myself drawing a mix of both anime and, as I said earlier, cartoon, like Western animation, or like this kind of animation you see where it's a mix. I guess DC animation, like from Batman and all that kind of thing, I guess. Where it's like those movies and whatnot, I guess. So, right away, you can see that inconsistency. Don't worry, guys. I know exactly like where I need to fix artwork, but then there are times where I won't know. So that's because it's like it's very easy to spot. Oh, my eyes are too small, or oh, this is too big, or this is way too small, etc. But when it comes to just being like, oh, I don't know how to draw this thing, or is there a way I can draw this certain angle of the body? It's that kind of stuff. Like going back to wrong thing. Going back to this, where it's like I got the head tilting back slightly and looking at something, but I've seen them. There's sort of some anime posters I've seen where the character is either smiling or shocked, and they're looking slightly back like this, and you see their full body, and you see stuff in the background. Like, I don't know. Because if it's a fantasy, you see leaves blowing near them, or like fire around them, fire, or water splashes. You'll see water splashes or fire, and the character is either looking at this way, or they're flipped and they're looking like this way. So there's that. Did I even tell you guys? I don't think I even once mentioned on my channel that I draw. I don't think I even did. Maybe I might have, albeit on a very old video, but I don't really think I've even mentioned drawing. So, one day I'm kind of not hoping or wanting really, but it's kind of a passion thing. It's hard to explain. It's not really a passion thing. It's more of like, if I had a good story, I would totally do it. So, I want to make a sort of animation type thing, but the hardest part is like trying to figure out my art style for that. Like, do I want it to be an anime, or do I want it to be just a cartoon, where it's not really anime at all? So there's that kind of thing. And I would love to animate a story. I would. So like it would be sort of, I'm more in the mood of a sort of fantasy type story, or like a sort of depressing dark story, like something like Infinity Train. But I'm like trying to be like, okay, well, I don't really have any stories right now, and I don't have a script or fun things like that, and I don't feel like really trying to full-blown write a story, because I'm not really good with that kind of stuff. Unless it's a really personal project. But other than that, but even when it's that, I'm still like, about it. So I'm still trying to figure, like, is anyone like, you know? So, here's that. I watch a lot of Marvel stuff. I do. I recently started watching the DCEU, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty good, I love this. But then, at the end of Batman v Superman, the extended cut I was watching, I was like, and that's my cue to leave. Because in the ending, I was pissed, and I'm going to be honest, that it was a very huge red flag, especially because of the fact that I'm like, that was probably the most dumbest thing you've ever done. And I looked up why they did it, and apparently Warner Brothers has always wanted to do a story like that. But I'm like, if you wanted to, and I was even saying this, like, if you want to do a story like that, where you, or for like Batman v Superman, this movie came out like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 6 years ago, because I think it came out in 2016. If you wanted, if Warner Brothers really wanted to do a story like that, what they should have done was they should have like, because I don't know if you guys know this, but you know, for like Infinity War / Endgame, that kind of battle, and we've known Tony Stark since the beginning of the MCU. They should have done something like that for Superman, where it's like, okay, we made, I don't know, like, let's say they made 10 movies with Superman. Some of them solo movies, some of them team-up movies, right? With the Justice League. That's great. That's amazing. Now is the time to kill him off. Because Warner Brothers, I didn't even know they wanted to do a story where they killed him off. So, if they really were dying and itching to do a story like that, they should have at least gave us time to be attached to him. Because I'm going to be real with you guys, I was not attached at all to Superman. And let's be real, I don't think anyone was. When they saw Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. But if Warner Brothers gave time to really develop who he was as a character and in the world, in the DC world, and we spent at least 10 movies with him, then it would be a perfect time to kill him off in a good climax. Because Infinity War did that. So, like, for instance, Infinity War, we've spent, like, I don't know how many movies. I'm just going to assume, like, 10, 11 movies with Tony Stark. And then, in Endgame, he had to sacrifice himself for everyone on the planet to come back to life. So, and that made us all cry in the theaters, because it was like, oh, wow. We've spent all this time with him, and we've grown so attached to him that now he's gone. But with Batman v Superman, it was like, oh, we've only spent, like, one movie, and we don't even know who he was. That's kind of a thing that greatly, I thought was really stupid. And hell, since I've heard that they apparently revived him, they should really give more time to develop who he is as a character and do solo movies with him, and then after that kill him off for that story that they really wanted to do in the past, but rushed into it. That's a funny thing with DC. DC with Warner... I'm not blaming DC. I should probably rephrase it all to just Warner Brothers in general, not DC, because it's not really their fault. It's more just Warner Brothers. But hey, if there's one perk I do have to say about Warner Brothers, at least they're not Disney. At least they're not owned by Disney, because, as you know, Disney is more family-friendly type stuff, and if Disney owned DC instead of Marvel in an alternate universe, let's say, oh no, the multiverse, but in another universe, let's say if DC was owned by Disney, then sure, we'd probably get better movies, but they wouldn't be dark or they wouldn't be messed up. And they certainly would dumb down the characters like Batman. For instance, Batman, they would have dumbed him down so much. And I've never seen the new Batman movie. I've never seen it. I'm not sure if I even want to see it, but I've heard that his character is very, very brutal. I've seen the trailer a little bit, so I know he's very, very brutal. But if it were Disney, Disney would not, in their right mind, would be like, nah, we're not doing that to Batman. And so automatically, in my opinion, DC automatically have some advantages, but they're just not taking advantage of it. So the first advantage is that they're owned by Warner Bros. They're owned by a company that isn't like Disney, where they are censoring. I could be wrong about this, but I'm just talking because, like, Disney is more strict on movies and censoring stuff. I think, anyway. But Warner Brothers, they're like, I don't know, has there ever been a movie by Warner Brothers that's been censored heavily? I don't know. But all I know is that it's not Disney, and they wouldn't Disneyfy it, or make it kind of cutesy. So that's a plus. Another plus is that with DC, you got very iconic characters. Well, that we all know. Like, we got Batman, you got Superman, you got Aquaman, you got you got the Flash, you got Wonder Woman, you got all these iconic characters that have not been killed off. Versus like something the MCU where they killed off almost half of their iconic characters, or a couple of them are AFK. So DC has that advantage as well. But at the same time, DC isn't taking advantage of that. Or no, Warner Brothers. God damn it. I meant Warner Brothers. So there's that. But I wasn't really a fan of DC to begin with. I just wanted to sort of try out the DCEU, try to get into it. But I think the only DCEU movies that I'll probably watch would be Shazam. That's really it, honestly. I really loved Shazam. It gave me an MCU feel. That's probably the reason why I liked it so much. Because as an MCU fan, it definitely felt like a Marvel movie. It didn't even feel like a DC movie. It felt like a Marvel movie. It's like it felt like something that could take place in the MCU rather than the DCEU. So I thought that was very fascinating too. So there's that kind of thing. So I'm not even really doodling at this point. I'm just talking, which is fine. You know, it's fine. Just gonna see if any of my friends are most likely not online by now, but it's kind of, I guess, worth a try to see, you know? I don't know, when did I, okay, let me message my friend. He's probably gonna say something along the lines of, I'm sleeping, oh, it's late, why are you calling me this late? Just wait till he messages me back and make sure my phone is not on Do Not Disturb. Because if it's on Do Not Disturb, we're gonna be screwed. Also, I'm kind of surprised that I'm able to live stream this fast. I didn't think it'd be this fast. So that's super cool. Yay. Oops. Let's see. I'm generally just like trying to. I forgot you guys can see everything. Yeah, I'm streaming my entire screen. Whoops, whoopsie. I guess I'll continue drawing. I mean, isn't that what you were like literally going to do? I mean, look at that, like, booty. Look at that amazing booty. What, am I British now? Okay. In case you guys are wondering what software this is, oh wait, it says it right there. Never mind. It's a great drawing software in my opinion. Now, I know there's better ones like Krita, but I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't really like Krita much. I've tried it so many times, but it doesn't feel as comfortable to use than Medibang Paint. Because with Krita, it's like, it feels very hard to use. And I know how to use most of the tools, but I'm like, it doesn't feel as like friendly than Medibang, because I guess it feels more organized is what I'm trying to say. Like here you got your brushes in one corner, the size can control, and the best part is you can control, this is my favorite part, you can control the different brush sizes and customize the brush for the eraser and for the drawing tool. So if I like draw with 4.7 pixels with the pen or drawing tool, my eraser is not going to maintain that same size. So, and also in my animation software, it does the same thing. So I'm very confused as to why Krita is the only drawing software that I've come across that does that, both where both the where both the brush tool and the eraser tool can be switched interchangeably and have the same size. So it's very annoying in my opinion, and it makes for a very slower workflow. Because then, like for the brush, you have to draw with this, and then with the eraser, it's the same size. So you change the size of the eraser to erase, and you go back to the brush, and it's the same size as the eraser, and you have to lower it to draw, and it's just I'm like, it's a pain in the ass. Maybe there's a fix for that. Maybe Krita has a customization thing where it's not going to be like that. I don't know. But all I know is that that's greatly annoying, and I hate that. Hey, look. I have no arms. I'm a no-arm guy. Okay. Yeah, that arm is thin. This arm is a thick boy. This is a thick boy. You know I think you gotta feed my soul, gotta rock and roll. Okay. Yeah, I don't even want to position this shot. Now I know this is normally a Minecraft channel, but I'm gonna be real with you. This isn't a Minecraft channel. Now this is not a Minecraft channel anymore. So I don't want it to be a Minecraft channel anymore. I want it to be a channel where I feel like uploading whatever I want. I could upload a Minecraft video. I could upload a drawing video. I could upload whatever I want. Because it just makes for easier workflow. Or I should say, it makes it so I don't have to really just be restricted to one thing and I can really express myself even more. Hell, that was my whole freaking channel thing. Like, if you look at my About page, it says, self-expression and creativity. And I'm like, at this point, I don't even know if I'm following what my channel was originally about, because I'm mainly uploading Minecraft videos. I'm not doing whatever I want. And even in the name, Crafter. Crafter is like a Minecraft sort of mod, so I might change it to something like just Nerdy Boy Gaming or Nerdy Boy Stuff. So there's that. Look at my little chibi boy. I want to see my little boy. Here he comes, I want to see my little boy. Alright. Yeet. Yeet. It's fine, I can just do this. Everybody watches. Wow. Insert anime wow sound effect here. Wow, wow. I want to see my little boy. Here he comes. I know what you guys are wondering. Hey, Nerdy Boy, what are you using to draw with? I'm going to tell you. I'm actually drawing with a mouse. Yeah. Insert gasp here. So I have a gaming mouse, and it fits my palm very well, and it's so comfortable. It's like the best mouse ever. And the best thing about this mouse is you can customize its sensitivity and DPI. So it's like, my tip is for people who draw with a mouse to have a slow sensitivity, so that way you can have precise, drawing, So it's like super precise. Hey, look, it's a sock. Boop. And I don't have a drawing tablet, and I don't want a drawing tablet. That's like, it's expensive, and I'm not buying it. Because I just don't. But I am so bored. So very, very, very bored. I could use some music right now, but if I were to play some music, yeah, it would be like kind of copyright kind of thing. So, I'm gonna hold on a second, y'all. I'm just gonna join a VC and just live stream, I guess. Hold on a second. I'm gonna join a VC from one of my Minecraft Discord servers that I'm in. And you guys can see it now, so I'm gonna just join this guy. If we've gone ahead. Okay. Oh, this is the AFK channel. So he was put directly here. I'll just go here. Is that Ryan Reynolds? I'm just gonna probably wait until someone joins the VC and goes, what the hell? Or just do that. But if I were to join if I were to join a VC and like a random Discord server that happens to be about art, I'm going to end the stream because I don't like recording when people are around, because number one, not everyone feels comfortable being recorded, held, and live streamed, and most of the time I don't even think they would consent, and I won't blame them, because would you really want your voice to be on live stream? No, you wouldn't. You would not. So these are poos. Poos. Hey, look, it's a deformed foot. I'm just doodling, so like it's not really like trying much. But I don't know, it's late at night, so I'm kind of tired and stuff. And I'm trying to figure out, like, and plus this is a doodle, I don't even know what I'm gonna draw, to be honest. Like, oh, I'll just draw a guy, but I'm like, do I want to though? I really want to draw this kind of character. I could draw something like better, or I could figure it out, you know? 'Cause I don't know what I want to draw. I guess the only struggle I have the most when drawing is hands. Y'all can already see that. That's like my main struggle. I always thought like just to do it like this, like boom, boom. I'm sure it's even to like boom. Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just like down here, you know. I'm like, oh wow, you know. See, now I got fingers. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably gonna be like live streaming for a while. I'm gonna try to live stream for a long time. And hell, I might not talk much. Because earlier in the live stream I wasn't talking much because I was just kind of tired and just kind of focusing on the artwork. And if I were to play music, I totally would, but I don't know. It doesn't have lyrics, but I'm sure, I mean, it's copyrighted. Come on, everything's copyrighted even with no lyrics, am I right? I guess. Oh, wow, look at that deformed hand, oh wow. So, let's see. I guess I'll just leave this character alone, and I'll see, because I don't have anything else I've been working on. I mean, because, let's be real, I don't. I guess I could go back to my deformed anime character right here, and try to figure out how to fix him. Yes, I could try doing that. And again, if you guys have any tips and tricks on how to get this sort of look I'm going for, please tell me. I'm trying to do this. Again, I don't know if you're the same person who joined earlier, but I'm trying to do this sort of poster look. Like, you know, in most anime posters, you get this character who's either looking on this side or flipped like this, and they're looking. And they're like, ooh, wow. And they're just like, and it's kind of hard to explain. They're on a complete side view, yes, but they're not really on the side view. Like, they're looking slightly like that. And it's like an anime kind of poster kind of look. But it's a full body. It's like, their body isn't half cut off like this in a corner. I don't think, anyway. Do most posters do that nowadays? I don't know. what I'm trying to do is like have full body, where it's like you can see their you can see their legs and their shoes. I guess I would do something like this. No. And then you have this like right here, and then like that, I guess. Yeah, I guess kind of like that. How many times am I going to say I guess? Yes. So like that. Maybe, baby. And I just kind of draw the pocket. There's always a pants pocket. So just something like that. And you draw the hands. Now, should the hand be like... Yeah. The hand should be like kind of... But that's more of a... Then by this case, it's like a palm. I guess this is how you do it, where it's like a palm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth. And then you got a 6th hand. Then in that case, fifth. So, okay. I actually just thought of this thing I was doing just now. I just thought of this now. Wow. It's not very consistent though. Just like that. And then, boom. For the thumb. Nice. He's like I guess his thumb, this is the front of his hand and not the back. Proportions are very different. And, you know, I don't really know how to draw hands, so this is like my best sort of estimate. I'm very good at all, so like don't take this as like literal how to draw. This is just me drawing so I could ask for like criticism and help. So it's kind of the whole point of this live stream is like, hey, how do I draw this? I'm sure you already figured that out since I was asking earlier for pose of the character. There. Go. Yeah, it's like you see how awkward. I guess. Alright, well, that's the pose, I guess. I don't know. I was using this as reference, like this was my reference. I kind of was trying to figure out, oh, how do I draw the face? So I just kind of did that a few times and I go, boop, 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 boop. Something like that. You know, something. And then that's a little bit too bumpy, so you just kind of don't really do that. And then there you go, you got yourself the same sort of face. There. But that's basically how I tried doing it. I trace a bunch of times, and then eventually, it's like I was trying to. This is my reference, but this isn't a full body view. This is like up close. So I'm trying to look up everywhere. Like, oh, is there a full body view of this? No, there is not. But it was the kickstart I need to figure out. Like, oh, so I was drawing it right. You do have this sort of character look. Also, the nose is in the wrong place, I guess, right? So there's that. Okay. think I might like shorten this part. Maybe make it less sort of angled like that. Nah, that's better. Maybe undo it slightly. There we go. All finished, I guess. In terms of. Yeah. Now it's March 18th. Everything good I noticed is coming out in April. So let's see. 2 weeks, and then we're in the month of April. Let's go. A lot of good things are coming out in April. We got movies coming out in April, such as Morbius, which I'm kind of excited to see. It's the only movie I really want to see, kind of. And then I got Hello Neighbor 2 coming out next month as well, which is also exciting. I'd rather personally wait a long time for Hello Neighbor 2 to come out, though. I'm just saying, because I've learned my mistake from Security Breach. I learned because Security Breach, let's see. With Security Breach, it was like a long time we were like so, like, oh my god, we wanted to come out. But, unfortunately, the consequence of, like, literally freaking out so much was that it came out, rushed and delayed, mainly because of Sony, and rushed mainly because of fans. But actually, kind of thinking about it more, it was also mainly because of Sony. They also dumbed down a lot of the stuff for the game, which made me very upset, because FNAF, let's be real, is it really a kid's game? Is it really a kid's game? I mean, it can be probably enjoyed by kids, but I genuinely don't think it should be, like, dumbed down, you know? Because if it really was a kid's game, there wouldn't be child murder or anything like that in the game. And there would be literally none of that. So that's kind of why I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, let's have it be, let's have FNAF. They're like, oh, let's have FNAF, like, let's have it be extremely censored and dumbed down. Let's even get rid of Vanny's signature knife. I'm like, you do realize that getting rid of Vanny's knife is like getting rid of Michael Myers' knife, or like getting rid of Freddy Krueger's finger knives, or getting rid of Jason Voorhees' chainsaw? Does he use a chainsaw? I don't know. Basically, or machete. He uses a machete. Okay, I think so. But my point is when you do that kind of thing, it's basically part of the character. So that's kind of my annoyance with Sony at their part, is why the hell would you censor it, kind of thing? If the best thing to do is just, hey, don't make it with Sony, or like make a version where it's like, my thing would be like to make a version where it's for PC and other consoles that aren't PlayStation, and have that be the horror game, and then the one for Sony, extremely censored and dumbed down. Why, you might ask? Well, or hell, maybe even make 2 versions of Security Breach. One where it's, like, the original dark story, or one where, and then the one that we have now. Because I just rewatched the first Security Breach trailer, the teaser one from 2020, and I'm like, that shit, like, scared me much more than the game we actually got. Like, Manny's voice is so creepy, and it's creepy even in the new game. I'd argue creepier, but Vanny clearly had a much bigger role in the original game, and they took it from us, Carmine. They took it. Just why did they have to do that? Why, Sony? What is wrong with you? Why did you do this? Why did you have to take away everything about Security Breach that made it scary? It's like they robbed Security Breach of everything that would have made it scary and just like made it not scary. So maybe the DLC might change that. I hope to God it does, because I want to have my socks off. I want to have my socks knocked off. I want to be scared shitless. I want to not be able to go to bed tonight. Like, Security Breach did not make me feel like I couldn't go to bed. It makes me feel actually the opposite. It makes me feel like I can go to bed and sleep very well because of how not scary it is. It's very not scary. And the whole point of a quote-unquote horror game is to scare you, not make you sleep. Especially with how ridiculous the quests are in the actual game. And how Vanessa literally has no role whatsoever in the game. She's not... And I'm talking story-wise, gameplay-wise. Maybe or even gameplay-wise, it was dumbed down, but mainly story-wise, we're talking. She clearly had a much bigger role, and that kind of angers me a lot. Like, Steel Wool, I love FNAF so much, but come on, even like, what it once stood for, right? Kind of? Yes? No? Maybe? Hell, the fourth game is freaking terrifying. I'd say the FNAF games that would scare me the most would definitely be the first one and the second one. The second one, I like the first one a lot, but whenever I used to play the second one, I used to be genuinely terrified of it. Hell, freaking Withered Chica would scare the crap out of me. So it's like, kind of makes me wonder, why can't we have that kind of horrorness for like even AAA Security Breach or like AAA FNAF games in the future, where it's like genuinely horrifying in that kind of retrospect. And it was so atmospheric too. Like, the mini games are really atmospheric. Like, I recently just had a nostalgia trip looking back at the old FNAF and how scary it is, and I'm like, this is FNAF? I feel so sad about that I really have to rub my eyes and blink a bunch of times to really look and be like, oh my god, this was FNAF. Because it's so dumbed down, and it's so, like, full of, like, kid stuff that it's like, it's not even FNAF anymore. It's not even scary. And Security Breach is, like, the perfect example of that. I wanted to use another word, but I don't know what it meant. Antithesis? Is that the right word for that? I don't know. I'll have to Google that. But Security Breach is extremely dumbed down and not scary. I don't think there was really any scary moments. Some people said it was the scariest moment in the game for people was the daycare center, and I'm gonna say, compared to all the other games, it's like a cakewalk. It's kind of freaky, yeah, but when you look at the other games, no pun intended, but it's night and day. It's literally night and day. I mean, yeah, people are like, oh, the daycare thing was creepy, and I'm like, so would you want to casually look at the previous FNAF games? Not the 6th game. The 6th game, I don't even know if that was creepy. No, the 6th game, it wasn't even that scary either. Mainly because I think that had to do with the jokes. Like, it became more of a joke type thing. Maybe that's why FNAF nowadays isn't so good as it used to be. Maybe it's because it's treating itself as a joke. Maybe they were inspired by The Evil Dead, where The Evil Dead used to be really scary, but then they got sued and were called video nasty in the UK, and we're like, oh, well, we can't really make it this gory and scary, so they made a horror comedy sort of thing. But the difference between that and FNAF is the horror comedy works, but with FNAF, does it? Does it? I don't know. I mean, there were some funny parts, like the air horns. You gotta admit, that was funny. But there's a difference between horror comedy and just with the comedy taking over the horror. Because I think The Evil Dead had a balance of comedy and horror with its show and movies after the first Evil Dead movie. Because the first one was just pure horror. There wasn't really much comedy. I think some people saw comedy in it. I didn't. I was just mainly like, wow, that's actually scary. But I really wish FNAF would be scary because it's not. It's really not. Security Breach, I guess could have been scary. Like it clearly would have been. I mean, yeah, it's like you're not like in a dark place in the game. But I think what would have made the game scary is the fact that Vanny keeps chasing you in the original concept, because you can tell that was the original concept because the original trailers, so that would have made the game scary. Sure, you're in a bright lit, neon lit pizzaplex, but that's not scary. But what would have carried it would be the constant fear of Vanny, or the atmosphere. I just genuinely wish Security Breach wasn't a letdown. If I were to go back in time to 2020 or early 2021, I would have told myself, hey, you're excited for Security Breach? Don't give it up. Because Security Breach literally took up most of my time. I would constantly go on YouTube every day and look up to see if there's any news about it. And there was a guy milking it for views. Let's not forget that. He was milking that shit for views every day. Security Breach coming out tomorrow? Yes. Security Breach coming out today? Today? Tomorrow? Today? Tomorrow? Today? Release date? Release date? Release date? Release date? No, it was just him trying to get views on his channel. So, but at first I fell for it. At first I watched it, but then I was like, oh, he's just being a milker. So, but I've learned that whenever there's a really hyped and exciting game or movie, I should probably even say more game than movie, because even if a movie is overhyped and stuff, oh shit, never mind. I'm looking at the Schneider, like the Justice League, and I'm like, oh shit, never mind. So, forget I said that. It goes for movies too, because I was like, at first when I was talking about this, I thought, oh, it just goes for video games. No, it goes for movies. Like, for instance, there are some movies where people are really excited about, but it ends up being the worst, and then the original cut of the movie was actually better than the theatrical cut. So, same thing for video games. People are really excited for FNAF, they get FNAF, and it's shit. But there's probably some sort of director's cut of the game. Maybe. I seriously, I feel like I doubt that. I doubt that there's a director's cut for Security Breach. Clearly they had a story, but maybe I would go as far as to say that for the cut of Security Breach, that they made it and everything, but they just didn't release it and they kept it themselves, I guess. I don't know. I'm just throwing tinfoil hat shit at this point. But I just want FNAF to be scary again. Like, I wanna have nightmares, man. I wanna wake up screaming. I wanna be like, oh my god, that was the most horrifying game I've ever played. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. And not be like, wow, this game is mid. You know? I'm sure some people really enjoyed Security Breach, but think about how many more people would enjoy Security Breach if we got the original cut of the game. If we got, what was originally intended for the game. If all the stuff wasn't cut and censored, think about how much more people would have enjoyed the game. Infinitely more. Let's be real. Even if we got all those bugs and glitches for the original cut of the game, I think the story would have been the main area where people would have been more forgiving of the bugs and glitches for Security Breach. Like, they'd be like, oh yeah, the game is extremely buggy and unfair, but the story terrified me and I was scared shitless. I think people would have been more forgiving about the bugs if that would have been the case. But it wasn't the case. It wasn't, unfortunately, and we ended up getting a game that was a former shell of its former self. It was a shell of its former self. I feel like we got the shell of the game, and the original part was much scarier. So, there's that. I hope that Steelwool is working on the DLC. They did mention there was a DLC kind of leaked about it. I don't think at this point I should be like overhyped. I don't think I should be hyped about Security Breach anymore, because it's like it like Security Breach is the perfect example of not letting hype get the best out of you. I don't think the fans of Security Breach really do you guys think that they do you guys think that for the fans of Security Breach that they experienced the same kind of thing before in their lifetime? Like, I don't know, like a movie that was really overhyped, but then they watched it and they hated it, and so did the entire fan base of the movie? Maybe? Who knows? One can only wonder, right? I just personally hope that Security Breach, does well. Or just the DLC. I hope the DLC... I'm going to be honest, I think the DLC could be just the director's cut of Security Breach. That would be fun. That would be great. I think it'd be great if the DLC was just the director's cut of Security Breach. That would be good. Instead of adding like a new story to the game as a DLC, just give us what we originally were wanting for Security Breach for the DLC. That would be very cool. That would be super cool. Because I love Security Breach so much. It's literally like, I love Security Breach what we originally were getting. I shouldn't even say I love Security Breach. I love talking about Security Breach. I love thinking about what it could have been. You know, I love thinking about Security Breach, like, and being like, what if in an alternate reality Security Breach wasn't rushed or censored and we actually got a good FNAF game for once. Not that all the other ones are bad. I just mean like a good AAA game, because we were like, oh, FNAF, look how far it has come, but then it just made an even bigger setback than a comeback, if that makes sense. So, there's that opinion. And the question remains, since Security Breach is a AAA game, do you guys think that that FNAF as a franchise will continue to be AAA or go back to its point-and-click roots? Because it's now a AAA game. So, and I'm going to be real, how can we continue with FNAF at this point? Halloween is ending. They're going to kill off Michael Myers, that's for sure. Because that's my prediction. They're going to kill him off. They might try to continue the franchise. Hell, they might try to continue Michael. If they try to continue Michael, I'd be pissed. Because then I'd be like, he always comes back. Yo, imagine if like they did a tweet for Michael Myers where he says like, he always comes back. Well then, no, they shouldn't, because Michael never talks, so there's no reason to do that. They could say he always comes back rather than I always come back. Because, Chucky did that, but Chucky can talk, so... I find that interesting, how Chucky can talk. I don't know. Like, you guys find that interesting, that Chucky can talk? Or is that just like a... Man, look, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's your mom. Flying in the sky. It's a magical pony. Flying through time and space. It's a magical pony. There we go. There. So, I got the moves. Alrighty, tidy. Well, I might head out, guys. I'm gonna head out. Why did I say might? Well, guys, I'm going to head out. This is kind of my drawing. Again, if there's a way to, like, kind of make... I'm gonna shrink this. Like, I'll, like, transform it and make it smaller. But there's a way to, like, sort of make a drawing where it's, like, you can see the full body, but he's, like, this kind of angle. Please let me know in the comments below after this is done as a live stream, because, like, it's gonna be before I shoot a video. But hope you guys enjoyed this video / live stream. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more content, like, in general from me. Not just, like, oh, art, because, like, I could do something random, like, I could do, like, I don't know, a Minecraft video, an art video, a horror video, anything, really, so. Alright, well, have a good night, y'all. I'll see you guys in my next live stream and or video. Bye-bye. Bye.